So, for the final time this season, the struggle, it's real.
The struggle. What a program. Glad I don't have to do any of that anymore. You see, I was kicked out of uni. Kicked out of uni for being too awesome. Oh, well, anyway, off to sleep.
Not again! Fresh from a mid-year internship at Lehman Brothers, I'm Leo Roboto. Welcome along to this glittering 16th season of The Struggle. On the programme tonight, the solemn felt faces of the Australian education system. The Coalition's coal-powered clashes continue, and a review of the ramifications of remote work. But first, it would be remiss of us not to take a moment to cast an eye back on the deluge of news we've missed these 3 off-air months. So that's what we're going to do. May saw Labor slog their way to an 18-seat majority in the federal election. Now, forgetting we weren't on air, the struggle spent an entire season's budget sending Alina to the Greens election night party, only for Adam Bandt to lose his seat and us our press passes. The New South Wales Mid-North Coast marked the election result with another increasingly common 1 in 500-year flood event. Meanwhile, back in God's country, an even greater tragedy was unfolding as Melbourne Victory lost 2 finals in a fortnight. May brought some better news as the benevolent RBA cut interest rates to 3.85%. Meanwhile, this programme's sole surviving light news competitor belched out a final death rattle as Channel 10's The Project was cancelled. But it wasn't all sunshines and involuntary redundancies. Or maybe it was, as unemployment figures rose. In July, our biggest media circus in a while saw mushroom murderer Erin Patterson found guilty, meaning 1 less Christmas for me to attend and 1 more pair of hands in the corrections centre kitchen. Meanwhile, cookers and media types alike gnashed their teeth over the Trump administration's handling of longtime struggle financier Jeff Epstein's personal files. We also saw InXS tear apart the Hottest 100, kids kicked off YouTube, and another attempt at an Aussie space program blow up on launch. And that's not even touching on Chrissy Barrett becoming the First Lady top cop, the Vixens Vic biasing their way to another premiership, the government dropping 10 bill on Japanese subs, or the Casey Melbourne Demons sacking their only living premiership coach. They got a new cat too. So yeah, clearly a bit has gone on since we last graced your screens, but we're back now. So please stop sending us letters full of hair. The PO box is full. I'm honestly surprised many of our viewers have the ability to construct coherent sentences at all. Recent NAPLAN data has been trending down heavily, and this isn't something new. 2025 was a particularly bad year with 1 in 3 students not meeting the benchmark requirement for reading, writing and numeracy. And there's been a percentage in the increase of high school students who require additional support in all areas of learning. Partially literate education correspondent and DIP ed holder Miss Tirolosi explains.
Hi, I'm Miss T. For the past couple of years, I've been teaching at high school named College, and save for the verbal abuse, emotional torture and parent-teacher interviews, it's not been entirely horrible. But year on year, every teacher's nemesis rolls around, and I'm not talking about head lice. I'm talking about NAPLAN. And every year the teachers get slack for it. However, this year I think I've devised quite the plan. If what they say is true and literacy rates are going to continue on this decline, then we need to be a few year levels behind. To conceptualise my plan, I brought 2 very special guests to join me. That's right, we're doing puppet shows. Wow! At the moment, the students are studying Animal Farm. Here's how that would look.
Well, Sockmantha, Animal Farm was quite the novel.
Sockfia, I'm worried about the exam. I didn't read the book. Could you summarise it for me?
Why, of course. Set on Manor Farm, George Orwell's iconic satirical novella tells the tale of abused and overworked animals who revolt against their owner, Mr. Jones, in hopes of creating an animal utopia, a progressive paradise for all species.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
Initially, yes, But as the plot begins to thicken, the political allegory depicts a rising tensions as the pigs, who secretly consider themselves superior, adopt a totalitarian form of leadership, exploring how corruption can manifest and give way to the consolidation of power amongst the pigs.
Oh no, that can't be good.
Correct, it isn't. The pigs get drunk with power, exploiting the other animals the same way that Mr. Jones exploited them. Once and for all, affirming that political power is always the same, a never-ending cycle of manipulation, lies, and cruelty.
Okay, this might not work.
Shout out to you, Miss Tirolosi. Believe it or not, she was actually my Year 9 English teacher. I think we read like Charlotte's Web or something like that. Anyway, if you're worried about our kids having the brains of infants, perhaps you'll be more at ease with the subject of our next story. Now, we've all heard of man babies, but what of man-aged babies? Creative new medical laws have allowed our cameras access to Box Hill Hospital's maternity ward, where a dusty new bundle of joy has just plopped out. Let's take a look.
Oh, hello. How are you? Hi there. I'm good. How old are you? I'm 4 minutes old. Wow, you are the youngest baby ever. What about you?
Who, me? I'm nearly 31. Oh, I was born from an embryo that had been in storage for 11,148 days in Rejoice Fertility Clinic in Tennessee.
I can only count to 5.
What's an embryo?
Look, someone jizzed in the cup and froze it. Later I came along.
What does that mean? I was literally born yesterday.
Yep, I was one lucky swimmer. I was donated with 3 other embryos. One didn't thaw, another was transferred to me to the womb, but only I successfully stuck a landing and implanted. And although I made it, medical experts reckon about 1.5 million frozen embryos are currently chillaxing in IVF labs across the US.
I'm so excited to meet my mom.
Me too.
Did you know that many mums struggle with what to do with their leftover embryos created in IVF labs?
Wow. I'm so excited to grow up. The world seems so
The world is filled with taxes, hardships, and jobs. Honestly, you newborns could never understand. It's a downhill slope to the dirt from here.
Listen, I don't want to creep anyone out or anything like that, but I think I can understand babies. Like I'm some kind of baby whisperer for babies. And I shall use my powers for good and equally evil. And then it'll go to my head and I'll end up touring my mystical powers on the festival circuit. Come to think of it now, I haven't even had a proper doof since Stereosonic 14. Back when eckies were eckies, women were women, men were hot, and the muzz was real. Today's young Australians have been dismayed as festival after festival drops off the calendars like flies off cheap fly paper. Lucky for us, Alyssa sent through a telegram message indicating there might be a glimmer of forecourt hope on the horizon.
With the Good Things Festival lineup being dropped in the next few days, music lovers are forlornly reminiscing on the wide array of festivals we once knew. Blues Fest, Splendour in the Grass, Groovin' in the Moo, Falls Festival. All axed. Festival culture in Australia has taken a battering in the past few years, facing issues like a lack of funding or artists' lack of interest to visit the land down under. Many have tried to tackle this problem, including development company Comiskey Group, responsible for entertainment venues in Queensland such as Eaton's Hill Hotel, proposing a new festival ground, Coochin Fields, claiming 150 hectares of land on the Sunshine Coast. Projected expenses accommodate a large open architecture design to create another field in Australia to be filled with cans, pills, and baggies of laundry powder. Declining ticket sales in Australian festivals are attributed to factors such as climate and cost, with festival goers less and less willing to pay upwards of $200 to burn and blister. I mean, we all have Spotify and substances on our mate's glass backyard table, right? Because of this, state and local governments are wondering if the economic investment would even return a profit. The future of festival culture in Australia needs a desperate revival. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? Is it more commitment to decreasing environmental impact and a lowering in ticket prices? Or is it just another overpriced paddock with Wi-Fi issues and $12 water? Whatever it is, festival goers far and wide are begging that organisers don't pull out of the cooch. Don't pull out of the cooch.
Yellow. Oh, but... Thank you, Jeeves. Okay, while I make a quick call to my biohazard cleaning team, please take a moment to enjoy these ads. Hello. Oh. Pardon me. Oh. Welcome back to The Struggle. Now, surprising as it may seem in these fiscally frightening times, cost of living pressures, if you will, have grown to such an extent that even a wealthy heiress, like myself, is having to pinch her pennies. But in truth, it can be hard to find household saving solutions that aren't specifically catered to the impoverished masses. Lucky for us Borgias, Violette has this week stumbled upon a handy tip that may appeal to some of our more wealthy, frugal friends. Take a look.
Wow!
Scientists are developing new methods to keep your devices as slinky and slender as ever. The solution? Portable chargers are getting bigger. Bigger. A tad bigger? That's right, as EV batteries have up to 7 times the capacity of the average household battery, homes can now be powered entirely by cars. Hands up if you love electric cars! Just as Tesla sales were plummeting because of the Musk. Back in Australia, Federal Climate Change and Energy Minister Chris Bowen endorsed the use of electric vehicles to store solar energy, claiming it could bring us closer to net zero. Those poor regretful cyber hippies bought their car before Elon took a little bit too much inspo from Volkswagen and started replicating their history. What will they do with their cars now? Drive them? Some EV enthusiasts have even said that learning to gamble the grid has helped them save a few bucks. It's time to investigate. Could today's EVs be the USB-C adapters of tomorrow? Just install solar panels on your roof, rig your roof to your car, then when the sun is shining and the batteries are filling up, you're going to not use any of the energy you just generated and buy it off the grid for cheap instead. Wait until nightfall when you can power your whole home with your car. And don't forget to sell any excess back to the grid. And just like that, you've turned your car into another adapter. Repeat this every day for the rest of your life, and you've saved about $12.50 a month, or about negative $50,000 if you include the cost of the car.
As Tesla stocks continue to plummet at the hand of Musk's social skills and Trump's EV divestment, my pride in only driving coal-powered cars continues to swell. Speaking with my family physician, Dr. McEvil, she advised me, though, that if I continue down this path, I'm well on my way to an acute case of canavinitis, a rare condition that causes the forehead to swell to such an extent that any thought of environmental stewardship is entirely obscured with brain fog. In an effort to connect with fellow victims, I reached out to the disease's namesake, Senator Matt Canavan, for advice. Here's what he sent back.
And now a word from North Queensland Senator Matt Canavan and his companion Barnaby Joyce, member for New England.
You know North Queenslander Senator Matty Canavan. We make a great team.
We certainly do, Barnaby Joyce, member for New England. I love that speech you gave in Parliament, going hard on opposing all those net zero projects. And Susan Ley, dodging questions about her party's platform.
2050 will be a better world, thanks to us. And all our hard work, campaigning for nuclear energy, gas, coal mining, it's gonna fix everything. It is gonna fix everything.
But you heard those work scientists, something fishy is with all those figures. They say we only have 3 years left to keep global temperature under 1.5 degrees. Like, give us more notice in advance.
Ain't that right? Leave the Paris Agreement to the French.
I always forget that Australia signed up to that agreement in 2016.
You know, if Trump can leave it on his first day, what's stopping us? What is stopping us?
But you'd think that Aussie farmers would agree with us.
Yeah.
The poll last year said 70% of regional Aussie farmers actually support green energy on their local farmland. Here we are again, speaking for minorities.
Oh, you're very right, Maddie. You are very right. I'm a farmer, and I agree with myself just fine. Even my previous trial, good old Michael McCormack, he's backing me up. He's voting for my private member's bill to reverse Australia's targets.
You two are really heating things up in Parliament.
Maddie, I'm always putting Australians first.
You really do, Barnaby Joyce. But sadly, I have to go check on my Queensland nuclear reactor.
You're my Queensland nuclear reactor.
The member for New England joining Senator Canavan from a picture-perfect prairie picnic there. Now, it may surprise some of our viewers to learn that the former prison colony of Van Diemen's Land has developed itself into a functioning society. That's right, our southerly neighbours, known to some as Tasmanians, held yet another election over our season's break. We're yet to receive word of the outcome from Tasmania's fleet of carrier pigeons, so Apple Isle expat Tony McGee gave it his best guess.
Well, it's been an exciting time in the numbers dungeon now that the results of the 2024 Tasmanian election are finally being decided, after what we'll call a statewide review. I've done the math and my hypothesis is proving true. By 2026, the time between elections will be down from 14 months to 12, and by 2027, from 12 months to roughly 4. I'm proven right, of course, by Labor leader Dean Winter, who previously floored a no-confidence motion in Premier Jeremy Rockliff, and has vowed to do it again.
There'll be a motion moved in Parliament of no confidence in the Liberals and confidence in a Labor government.
Of course, 2028 is when numbers get truly fascinating, as the time between elections reaches -6 months, and the entire registry is forced to vote early via postal ballot or telephone, before then voting for the 2027 election in person, just 2 months later. Don't worry, it's perfectly non-confusing. Looking at the chart for the numbers of seats winnable in the House, we see another troubling increase. The addition of 10 new seats in December 2022 led to what would have been a majority for Liberal leader Jeremy Rockliff in the 24 and 25 elections become a hung parliament. Now, when we project this 5 years down the line with what I have elected to refer to as the lot of good that did you trend, we see the House reaches 50 seats. It doesn't take a Greens leader to see 14 seats is still not going to be a majority. 50 years from now, this balloons to 5,500 different MPs in the lower house. Enough to build a stadium. Remember, charts don't lie, they just misconstrue. Our modelling also reveals that if the singular shooters, fishers and farmers MP Carlo DeFalco continues his focus on guns, telecommunications and health, Parliament will see the introduction of 2 new parties, the fishers and of course the farmers. I advise whoever to be prepared for a hell of a confidence and supply agreement. For all you communists, do not worry, as we are confident that this is a superb time to invest with Labor after this year's historic low. As we say in the business, buy low and sell high. And that's finance.
Now they say 2 heads are better than 1, and we agree. That's why we trust Tasmanians to do the numbers around here. You see, this season the Struggle Foundation has sponsored 2 Tasmanian finance students to come aboard. With 4 heads crunching numbers, we'll have almost the same brain power as a single mainlander accountant. So what? Piss off. Well, apparently I've got a bit of sensitivity training to complete. Let's throw to some ads.
Hey kids, we're so glad we've caught you before your bedtime. I bet you've seen our country's brave soldiers before on TikTok or even while playing video games.
Thanks to our goated social media team at the Australian Defence Force, we have the highest recruitment numbers in 15 years. And now, we've found you. Are you under 16?
If so, by the 10th of December, you sadly won't be able to see our ads in your Snapchat stories anymore. To those over 16, it's up to us to set a good example for the soldiers of tomorrow before the ban.
In the Defence Force, our variety of roles means there's something for everyone, just like Roblox. Join our soldiers and make a difference.
And if you're under 16, make sure you're watching as much TikTok as you can before December's ban to keep up with us.
And join the cadets today. They're totally Sigma.
Welcome back to the show. Now, when I think of working from home, I think of the COVID trauma of my kids refusing to pay attention in online classes. Steiner was not made for Zoom. Now, others think of sleep-ins, mid-arvo mazzing and trachydax. And this phenomenon really seems to have struck a chord with the notoriously lackadaisical Victorian Labor Party. Nursing correspondent Amy the Russo took this opportunity to do her own work from home, just to see if it's really worth it.
Working from home used to be a luxury that only a few could afford, but after Jacinta Allen's new work from home proposal, I may soon have the law on my side. The proposed legislation will allow Victorians to work from home 2 days a week. The types and sizes of businesses are still under consideration, and they can only apply for those who can reasonably do their job at home. A nurse can reasonably do a job at home if she has the right equipment. This gives me more time to spend with my family, be more productive, and boost my employment participation. Not like I'm already overworked. And this finally gives me more time to spend with my children and complete domestic duties. Okay, now deep breath in. The famously pro-worker Victorian Chamber of Commerce and Industry has some concerns with legalising working from home, as it could do the complete opposite of what Allen's promised. The legislation is set to be announced in 2026, just in time for the state election.
Are we done now?
Oh, yeah, sorry. The opposition, not wanting to repeat their election backflip, is on board with the proposal. And so am I.
And I.
Here's to a better work-life balance.
So, same time tomorrow?
But there won't be a same time tomorrow, because Alyssa is dead. So here's to you, our dear departed Alyssa. May your treasured memory inspire our everlasting pursuit of...
Breaking news. Former Brazilian president
Jair Bolsonaro
was last week placed under house arrest as ordered by the Brazilian Supreme Court. He stands trial for allegedly planning a coup and plotting to overturn the 2022 Brazilian election after his loss to Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. While Jair Bolsonaro believes this to be a prevailing conspiracy theory. I'm going to go off script over here. Tonight, viewers, yes, that's right, off the corporate messages, I am going to give you the uncensored view of my opinions of what actually happened. First of all, that big tall guy in Rio, what's he doing there? It's a world wonder. No, literally, people all around the world are wondering. Oh, never mind, we have received some new details. According to the official narrative, Mr. Maurice said justice is blind, but not foolish, as he banned the former president from receiving non-lawyer visits or using mobile phones. Last time I checked it, pretty standard, but protesters think there's something fishy going on. Or it could be another conspiracy theory, like this one. Deep in the darkest parts of the Amazon rainforest, a secret society of giant flying snakes led by a mystical, seductive, 50-meter-long serpent is said to control politicians across Brazil. According to local legends whispered in riverside bars, after midnight, these snakes perform sensual rituals during full moons involving tribal EDM, can shapeshift into hot humans who DM politicians at 2 a.m. with messages like, "Wanna come to the jungle, baby?" and use their powers to hypnotize horny congressmen into passing laws that benefit their agenda. Who knows? Probably just something about anacondas, Nicki Minaj, that sort of stuff. For The Struggle, Brazil, this is Cash, signing off.
So the hell was that guy? It's the bloody open door, walk in, walk out policy. Anyway, phew. Well, Brazilian politics spouting intruders, local ads and woke baby whining aside, I'd say this has been an altogether successful return for the struggle. And may I say, what a pleasure it is for us all to be back. As much as I love to spend my time whittling scrimshaw and building boats in bottles, sitting around all day like some kind of couch marrow just doesn't titillate the senses like breaking week-old news does. So with that, it's good night and good luck. Ah, the struggle. It's real.